Well, guys, welcome back to the nest. I hope you're all keeping well. Oh my god, it's been a long week, so it has. Just in time to do another movie reaction. As promised in the last video, tonight we are beginning 1976. You know what? Whenever I was going to start this year off, I actually thought it was going to be a boring one, because you know how every even number year is kind of a letdown. Well, I have had a lot of good movies in those respective years, you know, like 1968, you made Rosemary's Baby and everything. But we're starting 1976 off with The Enforcer. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, The Enforcer is the third installment in the Dirty Harry series. I gotta say, I really enjoyed this movie. It was a lot shorter than the last one. I remember the last one just felt like it was going on forever, so it did. But wasn't disappointed, to be honest. Now, despite the ending, I thought that this one had the most comedic elements out of the previous two, if you know what I mean. It also has the same structure as all the other Dirty Harry movies, so it does, you know, it starts off with the killer taking down he or she's first victims. Now, these two men working for a gas company, you know, they're driving across San Francisco where the movies are set, and this woman lures them into this building. Whenever they come out, this man called Bobby Maxwell, who's in charge of this revolutionary group, he shoots them dead. So he does, and he takes their vehicle away from him. We see Harry again for the first time in 3 years, and he is arriving at a restaurant where a con man has faked a heart attack in order to just get a free meal. See what I mean by being very comedic? You know, doesn't matter how serious a movie can be, you know, you need to cheer up and have a bit of sense of humour, if you know what I mean. Just whenever he takes the con man out of the restaurant. Look, you got your free meal. Now fuck off. You know I love a ride in the ambulance, Harry. And then even more crazy shit happens whenever Harry and DiGiorgio, I don't know if you guys remember DiGiorgio from the previous two movies, but you know, he's been there to help Harry along with his cases. He and DiGiorgio arrive at this liquor store where these people have taken the customers and the owner of the store hostage. And what they want is they want a police car. And Harry just makes his decision automatically. I'm gonna give it to him. And he just fucking drives the cop car right into the window and he shoots all the burglars dead. So he does. Like, you know, this just shows that Harry just prefers his unorthodox methods of taking down a criminal. He just shoots them dead, you know, so no one will be bothered again. Unfortunately, his boss, who, well, he's had a lot of bosses who've never really been happy with him, due to his excessive use of force, he transfers him from homicide to personnel, and Harry is absolutely not happy about that. Personnel is for assholes. I worked in personnel for 10 goddamn years. And I'll tell you what, it's no wonder he doesn't want to work in personnel. Like, the people who they're interviewing, you know, Harry has to witness a series of applicants do their interviews, and one guy doesn't even know what to do whenever someone's taking a hostage. You know, he asks around, what if it's a woman or a kid? You know, he'd be notified of his grade. He's definitely got a fucking U for one. That's the worst grade you can get. And then they bring in this woman named Inspector Mare, and she has absolutely no experience whatsoever. And Harry puts her in her place, proves his point. Doesn't matter if the others aren't happy with it. Do really enjoy Clint Eastwood's performance in this movie. You know, I love Clint Eastwood, you know, see him in the Dollars trilogy and in the Dirty Harry series so far. I was quite gutted to see that there weren't any ultimatums in this movie. You know, the last two, there were ultimatums. .44 caliber. Do you, punk? I will say he does have a catchphrase. This is all he says. Marvellous. The revolutionary team who stole the gas company vehicle, they're using that to break into a warehouse and steal weapons such as rocket launchers and ammunition. However, DiGiorgio goes to investigate, and in retaliation for shooting dead, because he didn't really kill anyone, like the only thing he did was injure one of the revolutionaries, and a guy decided to kill her because he thought that she wouldn't survive it. The injury was minor, but DiGiorgio was shot, and yet again Harry has lost another partner. You see, this is another running theme in the Dirty Harry series, where he has a partner who either gets badly injured and decides to just retire from the force, or they just end up dead. And this is what happens to Giorgio, and I think this is the last time we see him because he unfortunately passes away. He's just making peace with God now. But there's good news and bad news that's come out of this. The good news is that Harry gets put back on to homicide. But the bad news is Inspector Murray is selected as his new partner. And it just shows that she's not going to be as good as the other ones because she doesn't get out of the way whenever someone's using a rocket launcher in a test run, because you need to be aware that that thing shoots an explosion out the back as well as the front, so it does. And you know, and Harry warns her, if there's any small slip up, even if it's a small one, both their lives will be lost. In the Hall of Justice, a bathroom explodes. I wonder how they're going to take a shit or a piss now. And after a long chase, they managed to capture the bomber. They did interrupt the people making a porn film whenever he fell through the rooftop, so he did. Yeah, they could keep that in, you know. After capturing the bomber, they find out that he's part of a militant group, and whenever they go to meet with the leader, Harry goes out the back to meet with the leader, but they don't want Inspector Murray out the back. Because they tell her, "You're as unwanted as a turd in a swimming pool." And despite getting information, the leader is arrested, and Harry and Murray are commended by the mayor for his arrest. And Harry actually refuses to be part of the TV conference. The mayor just wants publicity. But this just earns him a 3-month suspension. The boss even tells him, "Callahan, you've just earned yourself a 3-month suspension. Stick it up your ass." You see, this is what I just love about Harry. You know, he just puts everyone in their place. He doesn't take fucking shit from anyone. Despite this, we actually get to learn a wee bit more from Inspector Murray. You know, she takes Harry out for a coffee. It turns out he actually does have a soft spot, despite his gruff demeanour and his hard exterior for all his partners. You know, he actually does go on a date with her. I wonder if she actually is infatuated with him, if you know what I mean. It turns out that her first name is Kate, and she was named after her auntie. It's all too good to last because they managed to kidnap the mayor and hold him ransom for $5 million to the day. I have to enter a church. I will say, like, a church isn't really a great place to do an investigation when you're a cop, especially when it's the house of God. But Murray does manage to save Harry's life whenever one of the revolutionaries goes up behind him and tries to kill him. They find out information about Bobby Maxwell from the priest and where they're holding the mayor hostage. They're holding him on Alcatraz Island. Thankfully, Murray has proved herself loyal whenever she has saved the mayor's life, but she saves Harry's life by getting shot whenever she calls out to him. And I gotta say, I was so fucking pissed off whenever this happened because, you know, this is like partner number 4 that he's now lost. She was probably the most fleshed out partner than the other 3, so she was. You know, the one who got badly injured, then just decided to go on to college, and then the other one who was blown up by a phone box. Then we lost to Giorgio. And I think Harry was really, really fond of Murray because whenever she tells him to, "Go get him," he chases after Maxwell and he avenges Kate by shooting the fucking rocket launcher at the tower and blows him up. I just love whenever the villain gets what they deserve. The mayor, on the other hand, you know, he is grateful for Harry saving his life. Well, more Kate saving his life. And he should be thanking her despite her demise. But Harry just is not in the mood to talk to anyone at the minute. You know, he's just lost another partner, someone he was very fond with, someone he cared about. Because he's lost nearly everyone. I think I did hear at one point that his wife died or something in the last one. I'm not too sure. Like, he was married and then she passed away, unfortunately. Because I do remember in the last one there was a woman who lived a few doors down from him in his apartment block, and she was taking an interest in him. Even the wife of one of his colleagues was quite interested in him, the one with all the kids. Another thing that I'm quite pissed off at is, despite Maxwell being dead, like, the force arrive in a helicopter and they actually call out to him, saying that they'll give in to his demands if he just lets the mayor go. He's fucking dead. No, this was a very sad ending, guys, and like the previous 2, it ends with Harry looking over the environment as the camera zooms out and then the end credits play. Despite the comedy aspects, you know, whenever Harry tells his boss, "Your mouthwash ain't doing the job." Despite the comedic aspects, it was a very, very sad ending, and, you know, I don't know how the rest of the series is going to play out. We'll have to see whenever we get to the rest of them. But I will say it was a very good start to 1976. I'm really looking forward to all the other ones, so I am. The next video will probably be out tomorrow. I don't know when yet, guys, but, you know, like I've said, I need to upload as much as I can in July because I'm going away at the end of the month for a few nights. It's only a few nights, but, you know, I want to keep uploading because this is the last full year that we're going to do, and then at the end of the next year we're going to start the game, and that's whenever the channel gets off the ground, hopefully. I know I've said in so many videos before, but because the Dirty Harry series is released by Warner Brothers, I want to say I'm giving Disney and Warner Brothers a shout out. Happy 100th birthday, guys. I mean, Disney and Warner Brothers, you guys actually really fucking deserve this moment. You know, you've given us all these entertainment for all these years. You've given us the theme parks. You've just given us so much happiness and joy. You know, a magical world where no one really expects to go. You know, stories we can actually relate and feel with. Provide us during our lonely times. You've actually really given that to us. And, you know, thank you so much for 100 years of that. And don't ever, ever give up, guys. Promise me that. But yeah, that was the Enforcer, guys. You know, I don't know which Dirty Harry movie I prefer, but, you know, I do love them all. It's a great series, so it is so far. We've still got a couple more, but I don't know when I'm going to do the next one. Could be a while. I don't know. I'll have to check the set list. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment what you would like to see next. Turn on notifications, share on social media, tell all your friends, and I shall see you guys in the next video. It's going to be a big one, guys. Biggest movie of the year. But I'm keeping it a surprise. Love you all to death. And also, you guys are marvelous.